Hello, Kingsman, and welcome back to the Napoleonic Total War 3 battlefield. Today we have a 4v4. This sent in by a fellow YouTuber, Steelydan. Put a link of his channel in the description. You go check him out. He does a lot more live streaming, and he does a lot more active videos, playing and recording it, as well as streaming. You can see, though, today this is kind of the best way to sum this up. The name of this replay was the Spain train, and it is all Spain. So we have the Spanish populace, you call it. We have a 10-point, in fact 9-point, and then two 10-pointers over here for Spain. And you can see a massive guerrilla force here. My goodness, like, they have everything over here. They have artillery, infantry, skirmishers, stakes. They are prepared to hold this LOC with their life. They even have some 18-pounders. And as you can see, LOCs have been held. Man, this is like the perfect way to like sum the battle. It's over. No, I'm just kidding. Taking them on, it's 3 French and 1 Swiss army. So we have a Swiss 5-pointer. You have a 10-point Imperial Guard France, a 11-point France, and a 10-point Spain France. So you have Napoleon and Napoleon. Now, these, I would say, are more just, they're good scouting. These guys will be able to spot anything and inflict a couple losses on the French. It's more of an annoyance than anything, but they can inflict some losses, and they also don't need cav up here scouting, as they're able to see the French advancing and see if they're skirting this direction or this direction. Already seeing some chasseurs cheval. But the French are definitely going to have a tough time of it, as the Spanish are going to, you can see steam, like, pushing up as quickly as possible. They have a lot of cavalry, dragoons, hussars, in their heavies and lancers, skirmishers. Light infantry marching down the road here. Let's hear that drum. The quiet before the beginning of battle is always kind of cool. You just hear the wind, you hear some drums moving every once in a while, but then there's mostly just a great stillness, which I keep interrupting with my voice, but you know. Oh, they already are shooting. The Mamelukes. So the French Imperial Guard probably is bringing the Grenadier Cheval, because if you don't, then that's just, you know, what are you doing with your life? But they're going to be bringing some of the greatest cav the French army can provide. And oh, the Division of Dragoons, huge unit, 200 men dragoons from Spain, France. I feel like this is a pretty good unit to bring. It's really good quality. Well, they are going to push up, and they're probably just going to I'd be pretty nervous right now if I was one of these 30 men. And you see an army of, you know, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 men in front of you. Be kind of scary, I guess. I would be a little worried. So I'm going to fast forward here unless something starts happening. Yeah, it looks like the French and the Swiss are just going to go around for now. I mean, they probably will take the LOC. Swiss infantry is showing up. Artillery firing. So that 18-pounder has some good range, but unless they have cab... Ooh, fire right here. Maybe they can't make this distance. This is pretty far. Pretty juicy target. Yeah, there's the Grenadier Cheval. Alright, so we do have cav now. Spain is going to have to be dealing with. Their artillery actually is in danger with these chasseurs cheval. If they're not careful, these lancers definitely... These guys could take some easy pickings on some skirms. Spain needs to support their populace with this cav. They need to push it up, like, right now. This artillery could get destroyed. How unfortunate that would be. That's my prediction. Wait, artillery? Way back here? Holy cow. So Spain is taking a very laid-back approach. I mean, they have 18-pounders, so, you know, only fair. But wow. They have some way back there. And here we go. The artillery is, gonna go in. Ooh, actually, the French could, do pretty well here. They did lose, probably gonna lose the first in the charge, but you can see a lot more cav being very aggressive. They can easily push back this populace. In Spain over here is just needs to be a lot more aggressive than they are being. This artillery is trying to get themselves out of there, but they're wavering, and they're probably, yeah, they're gonna get chopped to pieces. And France managed to, they lost some cav, but they took out the artillery. They're gonna go for more artillery possibly. Now they broke. But you can see that France is getting very aggressive here. Oh, they have cav over here as well. So they're just scouting out, as they should do with your light cav. Something I don't do that well. Not sure if they forgot these dragoons, but these dragoons are in danger of getting shot to pieces. That was a good shot. Sniping him off the horse. Ah, that poor guy. Just getting dragged. Look at his arm. Look at his arm. It's just like flopping. I know that's maybe not the thing you want to see, but what a poor dude. Oh, there's some fighting over here that I definitely did not get. Huge unit of Cuirassiers from France 11. So definitely Spain has their work cut out for them. Definitely not going to be easy fight for them. But if they can force the French to attack them, maybe they can, you know, do something about it. I'm surprised they've not taken out this LOC. It's just 30 rebels, civilians. They're scouting your whole army. Then again, they may not see them. Maybe they don't see them. I would have them hold off firing at will, just in case they don't notice that you have this LOC. So the Swiss are going to start advancing here, as well as some France. Looks like the France-Spain 10-pointer advancing as well. Oh. Good grief. That artillery already telling. Granted, it only killed 2 and knocked back the rest, but oh, we do have artillery over here. Some 6-pounder horse artillery are gonna start opening up on this area. Oh, these artillery came back? What? I mean, they did have, you know, over half their numbers. So looking at what France is doing, Spain looks like they are gonna form up mainly around this area. Now, I'd be worried about this area right here. Concentrated enemy attack. Now they do have a Spanish army sitting right here, but a concentrated French-Swiss attack right here actually may break them. All the LOCs are being taken by the Spanish. This is very good. One army here, another French or Spanish army. I keep calling them French. One other Spanish army right here. They're going to be kind of the reserve, probably. And once more, it's a scouting phase. So once more, I'm going to fast forward. This battle takes a second, definitely, to actually start going. Oh. And these skirms are like, uh-oh. This artillery is going to be gone for again, I guarantee you. I think these artillery are dead. Yeah, they lost like everything. That's unfortunate. But hey, France threw away another chasseur cheval. So take it as it will, you know. Now the French can now be a little more aggressive on the side as there's no artillery. Although this cheeky reserve 3-pounder, they're just waiting to use this. I guarantee you they're gonna probably string it in these buildings here once the French and Swiss get a little closer. I like how these skirms are just sitting by the stakes, but they're being kind of like a forward guard. Looks a very comfortable way to hold your rifle. That pose, man. Versus this guy. Little canteen. I hear water. Why do I hear water? Alright, anyway. The French are advancing. 7-point France. They're actually well dressed for this weather, it looks like. They got the heavy coats on. Some of them do. Some of them are like those guys from like the super cold territories that they come to your state when it's freezing cold in winter and wear short sleeves. That's what some of these soldiers are doing. They're like, oh, it's not cold, man. It's not cold at all. What are you talking about? They're like, dude, it's cold. Even this officer's all trench coat up. Looks like the Swiss and the 11-point France, they did go in for the LOC with some Cuirassiers. Which, wow, that was a lot of losses. That's good. They made these Cuirassiers really take some losses here with some civvies. That's what you want to do. You want to burn out the better quality troops. Now it's the Imperial Guard, so you know their combat effectiveness will not be affected whatsoever. We do have maybe these Cuirassiers. They're on by themselves, so France could destroy this. They could surround it and just destroy it, unless there's French cav that is with this Cuirassier. They could take it out. Look at the mass of French or Spanish that are charging them. You got some C9s who are going to catch up with these C2s. All the rest of the French are, you can see, rushing up here. So basically, they are just going to inflict as many losses as possible. And yes, they did break, but that's okay. That's worth it. You killed some models. Oh, these poor skirms. They're getting us outnumbered. I feel like they should fall back. Okay, yeah, they're falling back. I was gonna say, I was like, that seems like a feudal. You could be better held right here, where you could fire to the flank here. But this LOC, I guarantee you, is going to be hotly contested here. And hopefully they have infantry to support that. Spain, as you can see, is forming up here. They do have artillery setting up in preparation for the French attack, as the French are going to have to attack. The LOC advantage is not for them. We have some lancers way back here. They could go in for a general. You never know. So it looks like these Mamelukes went in maybe to try to take out the artillery. They got met with some infantry, and the artillery is still safe. More of the dragoons coming over here. Look out for your lancers. Spain. Where are you guys charging? So far away. Oh, look at this. Yep, like I thought. Ney has just been routed here. And these Cuirassiers are gonna try to revenge. But it's over. I mean, they took out the general. Spain, a general. And they haven't even started fighting yet, so good for them. That is a good pickings. You gotta watch the mini-map. You gotta watch all of it, because this is where you get a lot of Spanish small units that you barely even notice, just sneaking along, and then hitting your general, hitting your artillery, hitting your skirmishers. So we do have Spain pushing up this way. They do have cav support. This Dragoon unit is going to be a problem for them. But once again, they're using their heavier units. France is. Their units by themselves. You don't want to do this. Like, why would you want to send them up without support? They're a glorious looking unit. Daunting force to see charging down on you, but I mean, you have some good cav of Spain pushing up against you, plus they have units that can flank. Look at this. And there's nothing else. If these guys rush over, I would intercept them with these C7s. Yeah, now they realize their mistake and they're running away. You can see, come on, Spain, push him, push him. Still no fighting. In fact, I think this is a disadvantage now for the French. If they had attacked while they had... Look at this. This army's not even positioned yet. They could have pushed up before the French or before the Spanish were actually in a position to fight. Instead, they are letting the coalition set up and shell them. So you want to... I mean, I was in the live stream yesterday. I was doing this. I was sitting back way too long. You need to be aggressive in this game. It's more fun, too, to be aggressive. But if you're not aggressive, you just let your enemy set up. It doesn't do well. Some Hussars who are shaken are going to go in. They're going to die. We're going to watch them die, guys. See one horse. 2, 3. Oh my goodness. They just left, you know, like 10 dead. Oh, we do have some cav over here pushing up. They're gonna smack into some infantry. At the same time, we may have some Grenadier Cheval gonna push up against infantry, but that's a lot of squares. Oh no. That was not a good place to go. Look, here comes the flanking cav. Yeah, get them out of there. The Grenadier Cheval took some losses here. They are going to fall back. You gotta wait till you get in an actual infantry fight, then use your cav. These Mamelukes are gone. There was too many squareables for France. They were too prepared, but here we go. I think the Swiss are finally attacking. Like I said, guys, this is a very weak point here. They got 2 skirms, and then some line infantry, some guerrillas. And that's about it, besides what's in the house. So, not a lot the Swiss could really put pressure on this side, force the French to have to shift more troops into this small area. This is the chink in the armor for the Spanish. And until they get to the house. We'll see how the house goes. It could go one way or the other, definitely. So Spain actually sees that the Imperial Guard is pushing on them. I don't know why. I keep... Got it. Good grief. I'm drinking coffee. I'm trying to wake up. It's early in the morning. But... apologize if I keep yawning throughout this. I'm not bored, by any means. But I do demand some more action. Some more blood to be shed. I'm just kidding. So the populace and Spanish army are probably going to try to hold this town. It may be to their advantage to not fight in the streets, as the Imperial Guard is superior in the street fighting, probably with melee stats, reloading, speed, accuracy. So they just gotta be cautious. Now, using the trees next to the town wouldn't be a bad idea. I don't know why they keep sending their cav in by themselves unsupported. You're just gonna keep losing some of your most expensive, best cav. So you want to keep this back, you want to throw it into a flank, or wait until the enemy's already engaged. Throw in your infantry, not your cav. You see the Spanish are falling back here as the Swiss are advancing. They have finally started this battle off. Also, on a side note, I'm getting a 4K monitor tomorrow, so increasing graphics for these awesome battles. I'm excited. So hopefully tomorrow's video will, or the day after that, this video will have some awesome... Oh. Yeah, they got broken by the Dragoons. But hopefully, you know, better graphics, some 4K, you know? Get to see these battles in even better quality. So yeah, the Spanish not doing so hot. You can see they've actually been getting shot to pieces by artillery. The artillery is trying to back up this Swiss push. I'm surprised that 11-point France has not started attacking yet. I think they are still forming up, maybe that's why. The Swiss definitely are pushing here and possibly doing pretty well. Yeah, more skirmishers routing here. Like I said, this is a weak point. They do have artillery way back here. That's going to really do well. But the rest of the French armies don't really seem to have a decisive push yet. In fact, like I said, there's a 10-point and 11-point on this flank. Probably going to force the Spanish to have to shift more forces over to this side. And the Imperial Guard, I think, is all by themselves over here. So there's two armies here. Although, yeah, the French look like they are maybe going to just hold off. And Spain's actually pushing themselves over here. Support this fight. I don't like the feeling of this battle right now. As the Spanish, I would say. They're going in again. They need to learn how to like charge before they like run their troops forward, and when you're almost to the target, then you charge. They keep running over their dead comrades. We're gonna follow this and see if they get slaughtered again. Yeah, nope. They keep running, then they get shot in the back. They may actually get away without getting shot in the back this time. Yeah, they did. Alright, so we definitely have the concerning far push by 10-point France-Spain. This is going to be the probably decisive push here. The rest of it's just going to be to keep the Spanish stagnant formations while they push on a weak flank. And definitely Spain is weak on this side. They have 3 line infantry, a 4-pounder, and some skirms to hold back like what, 12, 14 line infantry units. So that's a concerning side that Spain is trying to reinforce as quickly as possible here. These guys are going to get some really good kills here. Sitting in this LOC. Now the regular volleys are starting up the Swiss versus the Spanish. Oh, some cav. Looks like they went in for an artillery piece. Did not go well. This is a very good strategy. Just sit way back, just leave a gap in the lines and just shoot through that gap. That artillery keeps coming. And these guys are ready to fire. Just wait a little longer so these guys get volleyed, you know? It's like a cat and mouse game there. So Imperial Guard's still circling. I think if they realize it's mostly Spanish populace here, they may try to attack the town. Because they got to know that the Spanish are shifting over to deal with this incursion. And here we go. So the angle in the line gonna be a problem for the Spanish. And oh no, this looks like doom. I mean, they got some good kills and they can form a square here, but not here. So these heavies definitely are able to smack down, send some infantry up to back this up, although this is looking pretty weak for an attack on that side. They did get rid of the artillery. They had to use heavies to do it, but they lost a good amount of their heavies in that combat. The Swiss actually are looking like they are getting a little thinned out. They are pushing up closer to the LOC. But man, Not looking too hot now. The Imperial Guard is pushing over here. They're going for some... No, yeah, they were going to go for some infantry with the Grenadier Cheval, but they can swear. So the Imperial Guard is looking to totally separate, go around maybe this side. Spain gonna hold against the Chasseurs. Oh, someone's routing. Yep. So the Swiss are making headway here. They are starting to really push. Spain is falling back to their reinforcements, basically. So they're gonna hold at an angle. Actually, they could use this LOC and sit like right here. They have artillery in the woods as well. But oh my goodness. Okay, this is a good position. This is how you use artillery, guys. You set it up far in the back to kind of be defensive. This artillery is extremely defensively placed. What I mean by that is that they are in a position where they can fire on a retreat, like on an advancing army, to cover retreating allies. What do we got here? We got the French getting attacked here. Some hussars getting pushed out by the Spanish here, as well as line infantry pushing up as well. My goodness. More Swiss pushing up. You see the Spanish are going to start pushing out. Don't go for the stakes. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't hit the stakes. Oh my goodness. What are they doing? Well, they literally lost a ton of men against those well-placed stakes. And that's unfortunate. That was a huge unit. But they are winning over here. That's unfortunate. They probably see the stakes. It's kind of hard to see them if you're playing on lower graphics. Huge push over here. You can see that the cav as well as line infantry pushing on Spain here, using their dragoons to make them form square and then charge it. You see Spain's going to once again fall back. They're going to need these reinforcements here. As at 10 point, Spain-France is going to get into a line fight here. Heavy columns, and they got some huge dragoon unit, or grenadier unit, sorry. So Spain's looking pretty good here. This is going to be a desperate fight. Over here, the Swiss are actually getting pushed back a little bit. Yeah, definitely getting pushed back a little bit. The Imperial Guard is starting to encircle this town. They don't have a lot of troops, though. That's the one thing working for the Spanish. Over here, the Spanish are falling back once more, maybe trying to get their artillery to get a little more close here. Oh, these hussars are getting shot to pieces. I want to fall them back here. They are needing all the reserves to hold this line. Now, Spain can hold a line fight here. It'll be a challenge, and they have artillery 8-pounders in the front lines with cav backing it up, so that's going to be another deadly thing. So it looks like the artillery, the 12-pounder, did get hit, but they managed to stay in the fight. But now they are stuck there. They are very much stuck there. The Swiss are getting pushed, so if the French can, or if the Spanish can push on the Swiss flank and then start rolling around, this could be really huge. The Swiss are using a huge ring and all firing on this one line. Concentrated fire. It looks bad. The Spanish are still trying to form up here. Imperial Guard look like they are indecisive if they're going to push the town. Maybe they're trying to go for a huge flank here. Maybe they're going to try to go all the way around and come on the back of the Spanish army. There's a lot of populace here that could be pushing out. Oh, cav did go in for the artillery. And now that 8-pounder is stuck here. And this 8-pounder is wavering. But I think they could probably stay in the fight with the good morale that Spain has. Oh no, we had some cav clash, some dragoons trying to save the guns. Did they save them? They're routing. That is unfortunate. And now they're going to go for the skirmishers. Spain is just... There's a lot of cav right here they could have used, but... Now, Spain does have a flank here. Look at this. So if they can swing around the flank here, they could push up. Oh, Swiss going in for the house here. Sending their militia. This artillery 4-pounder really helping out with this fight. They're firing canister on these Swiss. How very proper of them. That is really good to do. So I do see the French maybe overextending their attack. And what I mean by that is they're pushing here, and you can see the French are actually, or the Spanish are, why do I keep missing, man? The Spanish actually have a longer line, and they can start swinging on the flank. You see France probably doesn't have as many men as Spain does. So France wants to stay in a very small area, fight in a small area, and not extend the line so much. That way, Spain can't use huge flanks, which is what they're probably starting to do. As you can see, shifting more troops over. I feel like they should have some reserves. They don't want this line to break, or else it's over. The Swiss are running out of troops, though. They have been fighting for quite some time, and they're running out. Now, the Imperial Guard looks like they were actually starting to engage this LOC. You can see they are now shifting over even more. They are on this whole flank. I feel like they would be better used in this fight over here. They shouldn't have pushed out here. Of course, this is a lot of Spanish in this one area. We do have, yep, some line infantry going to try to go for the artillery. And they're forcing them into a square. Is this artillery going to get an executing shot? This is really genius of them. They're just basically forcing them to sit in a square while their artillery reloads here. Make sure I'm not missing anything. Although we're about to not miss this glorious canister shot. Oh, they broke them. So the fight is still raging here. You can see Spain in the forest here. France is pushing out their line as far as they dare. They are keeping some reserves, but they're pushing out as far to match. But you can see Spain is actually holding pretty well here in this line fight so far. But the Swiss, if they cave, then Spain is going to, especially with this, what is this populace doing here? They should be pushing out. You know, they should be pushing up here. They could set a mass of them right here, even one of them right here, and just start firing. The artillery definitely has been king for the Spanish. And this Imperial Guard is still shifting around, and actually the Spanish don't seem to mind too much. Now they're shifting some troops over. I wouldn't do that yet. Screen with your cav, force them into squares. They have one Grenadier Cheval, but they are taking this LOC back there. France actually has fallen back a little bit. It's gonna have to reform here. They have to make, oh yeah, they lost it. But good, that's one wasted Trillier that's not fighting. They have some line infantry here, some sappers that can push up. I love this defense actually. This defense is very well done. This is a very equal battle. So we have some of the Legion. And you can see that, yeah, like I said, I like Spain's catching that flank by 10-point Spain-France was a very good thing when they caught it, because they're a little too slow to be able to really reform and react quickly. Oh, they came back. Wait, what? Oh, the Swiss general has been slain. And he's going to break in. With that, the Swiss morale is going to be a little more iffy than before. Now, half of this army of the Swiss is not really been able to fight very effectively. The other side has definitely been able to do well, but they just have so much artillery facing them. And you saw what happened when they tried to get close to the artillery before. There's still all this massive unit, 200. You could stick these guys behind this French army for a morale boost, you know, for a morale boost. Or rotate them in and have this line infantry, oh, what do we have here? Some chasseurs going for the skirmishers. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh. That was the coolest thing I've seen. I didn't realize that was actually an animation you could do. Stabbing the horse and then stabbing the guy when the horse dies. You see this for the French guy looking up at him like, what are you doing to me, bro? So France definitely, ooh, they're pushing. They have some dragoons smacking around, some line infantry. They have this huge assault column pushing up here. I think they feel that the Spanish are wavering a little bit, and now we have Cav pushing up here. And they are going to charge in on the Spanish and hit a huge part of this line. You see Hussars going to rush over, try flanking here, as a lot of Cavs trying to mass rout this Spanish line. This is going to help a lot with the flank. Generals rushing over to inspire the troops. The Swiss still fighting over here, but this is where this is for all the marbles, guys. All the marbles here. We have Spanish Hussars pushing over, probably going to try to go for some of the French line infantry, stick them in melee, and actually, you can see they have some morale issues. Come on, charge, charge. Don't let them volley you. They're smacking right in. They're going to get volleyed to the side here. But this is the important fight where Spain is having some mass breaking here. And these Grenadiers should go in. The French Grenadiers should go in here. Because Spain is routing. I was concerned that that would happen. France now has a huge hole in their lines that the French can exploit. Now this unit of dragoons is 115 still, but you can see they actually are wavering. And they broke. They are broken, so you know. Here we go. So maybe the populace are now going to push up here. We do have some French Imperial Guard now engaging the Spanish, and the populace are going to push up here. There's still a flank now, and look at this. This is a very good flank they have, pushing up on the French. They just got to repair this hole. They're going to have to fall back here. The Swiss could play a huge part in this battle still. This is actually a really good battle. My goodness. That 12-pounder still firing here. Oh, the Swiss broke before they made it. But yeah, now we have the populace going to push up. Like I said, guys, they could take a turn. They could form up here and let these line infantry sit in the back lines. I hear some charging. Where's the charging? Uh-oh. There it is. Some Grenadier Cheval going in against the Spanish lines that cannot form square here. Now they're going to form up and volley this square. Spanish, it's looking pretty bleak, this flank, although, oh, these Grenadier Cheval are dead. Look at this. They're going to get clapped. As they have nowhere to go. They are surrounded, actually, by the Spanish cav. And they're fighting all the populace. We're back! It crashed again. You know, can't have everything. But no, we were talking about how the Chasseurs Cheval, or the Grenadier Cheval, are screwed. They're going to get surrounded by the burrito of Spain. And they may take down a couple of them with them, but they are done for. Now we do have some Chasseurs turning around trying to help out with this fight. Execution, but Spain is going to push up here and actually cause them to have to fall back. Oh, wow. 34 from left, and they are still kicking in this fight. What a shock. That would be disappointing as Spain to watch your cav just melt. But it's okay, because this Imperial Guard, look at this. They're getting 3v1'd on this other side here, so not doing too well here, I would say. And more cav is pouring in, so the Imperial Guard may get focused down by finally we have the populace forming up here. Now hopefully they have something to keep them in the fight, some morale of some sort or another. Swiss are still here. I'm surprised the Swiss haven't tried pushing here. Actually I think they are now. But yeah, this LOC, you can see, man, these guys are going to get such good shots. Somebody have to rotate some guys out if the ammunition starts running down. The Grenadier Cheval are pushed back here with this cav that did push them out. Grenadiers for the Spanish going against the Imperial Guard. Definitely looking a little better now, the Imperial Guard being outnumbered here. They are not the greatest standalone faction just because of how many men they can actually bring, which is not that many. Over here, actually, looks like France is taking some losses here and may have to reinvigorate this fight with some dragoons. Spain does have some reserves here. This populace is losing slightly, but it's a mass of them, so, you know, this should go well for them. But watch out, Spain, reform your lines. As this is going to go terribly. There we go. They're reforming, thankfully. So France has taken these woods. Still the houses, guys. Still the town under control of the Spanish. And as you can see, they're actually starting to beat back the Imperial Guard here. Using bayonet charges and then masses of infantry and cav. And France is getting boxed in from all sides. Oh my goodness. Bonaparte is going to die, and that's just going to crash the morale of... yep. There he goes. Bonaparte is dead, and the Imperial Guard is gone. So one faction down. The Swiss are pushing up on this artillery, but... oh my goodness, this has been brutal for them. They've had to face artillery the entire time and have not been able to do a thing about it. And that canister shot is just shooting them to pieces. So that is gonna free up this side to be able to then push up here. As the Swiss are... yeah, the Swiss aren't doing so well. I think the French actually are starting to lose. The French are starting to lose this fight. The Imperial Guard is, for the most part, gone. The French are now going to be getting outflanked by a Spanish, as well as the Popular. I have never seen the Spanish populace ever do well in this fight. And I know that's not their official name. It's just, you know, easier than trying to say that. You know, what their actual title is. So, the Swiss... yeah, the Swiss are gone. There's a couple of them left. Oh, we do have some cav going to punch in against these massive militia units. Let's see how well the Dragoons do against 240 men. Pretty well. But here comes a Spanish. Oh, the Spanish are back here too. What? So they have a flank with some good units. They're coming in behind the French. As the French are now going to have to try to reform here. Their cav did break. I think it was friendly fire as well as enemy fire. We do have the Voltigeurs pushing up very close. One volley and they'll break, though. There's 23 of them. Sadly, the Swiss are basically gone. Like I said, they were fighting, taking on a lot. So, you know, there's only so much you can do. Yeah, this attack is starting to fail. And look how many of these militia are pushing up. There's some line infantry here, too, actually. Pushing on the last of the Imperial Guard. And you have the Spanish pushing up in the trees, forcing back the French, who are now calling the tree. This is where, if it was realistic, they would fall back. They would retreat. They obviously have not made a dent big enough. And they'd fall back. Oh, this is going to be deadly. This is going to be deadly. But the French are falling back. They still are fighting right here. But you can see they are falling back as they are definitely outnumbered here. I'd keep pushing. Don't stop now. We do have some heavy Cuirassiers, 124 of them coming over to this side. They could still cause a mass rout with the French, or with the Spanish, so the Spanish are going to have to be very cautious still. And you can see actually in this side, they should shift this line of infantry over to back up these militia. So these guerrilla units, although they have some really good firing, man, there's just so many of them that they're constantly firing. These Cuirassiers maybe are going to make a play against the Spanish. We'll see. But for now, this field is definitely still not been won. Yep, here we go. We got the heavies charging in, going against some skirmishers here. And Spain is advancing on one side, but not the other. This side should be pushing up. We do have the last stand of the Imperial Guard here. That is not going to be easy to take. They're going to have to do a ring of fire around and just shoot them into the ground. And honestly, that unit could have been... those troops could be used over here. We'll see. So far, actually, I think Spain may have re-attacked with a little too much vigor, and they may get shot to pieces, as they are taking some losses already. Over here, they seem contented to, for now, stay where they're at. We do have artillery moving over here, though. Some 4-pounders going to move over here and maybe try backing up this side. You see, man, this huge grenadier unit is still in the fight. I really thought they would have committed them when Spain was starting to break. Got a couple Imperial Guard in the back line still. But Spain definitely still has some very fresh units still in this fight. I'm surprised they had not moving these units, at least a couple of them, to kind of back up this side, or even to push on the flank. And not a whole lot to really say, actually. Seems like not a whole lot's happening. There is some infantry that is shooting at some militia left over from the Swiss thing. You guys need to clean your pants. Oh, the Imperial Guard artillery actually routed the 18-pounders. We do have the Spanish consolidating in the woods. And they seem to be contented to sit back a little bit and wait for the Imperial Guard to make a move. Perhaps send up some grenadiers once this fight is over. But the numbers are definitely still in favor of the Spanish at this point. Now, they could easily have a mass rout and it'll be over, but they are holding in the tree line. Some sappers gonna get executed, most likely. At close range here. Unless these guys are not formed up. We got sappers. engaging the flank of the French. And you can see how thinly spread the French are now. We do have some cav pushing up here, probably trying to support this side as these sappers are making headway. But once again, it looks like the French may be falling back. Actually, looks like they're going to advance. Such a large unit. It hasn't even taken that many casualties. They could probably stretch this line a little wider to get more firepower. Oh, we have some of the Cuirassiers gonna push up here. Yes, we do. They are gonna go in on this fight here and try to make a dent in the Spanish line here. Yeah, they're going against some heavy mass of infantry. But they could possibly make a dent here. They, of course, should shift over some infantry that can form square maybe to back up this side because they are taking some losses here. Oh, they did take it. Yeah, they were grenadiers that pushed up. And the Imperial Guard is dead. So the only fight now being this front line where, oh my goodness, France charged in 2 places and going in with the Grenadiers, mass routing the French or the Spanish. Excellent play here. They just mass routed and maybe they can take this fight back. Now they are still fighting in the tree line. We do have some reserves here, very weakened reserves, but that huge charge from the Spanish or from the French definitely seems to have broken the Spanish line here. And now maybe they're going to finally push for the house. They finally feel they may have made a breakthrough. You know, losing the field at, you know, whatever o'clock and then pushing back at whatever o'clock. Also, they probably do that because they have 6 minutes left and they have to take an LOC. They have to take this 2-pointer. Because they don't have the other LOCs. There's a 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. They have to. They have 1, 2, 3. They. I don't think they're gonna win by LOC, even if they took this 2-pointer. They have 1, 2, 3. No, it'd be a tie. So Spain needs to hold that 2-pointer. But there's a reserve line that is going to start volleying these poor French who are exhausted and tired, probably. Over here, Spain is pushing. They have their cav. They're pushing on the flank here, encircling the French. France actually is rushing in with some of their line infantry. They are desperate to take this. And they're actually going to get charged in the back as they're going in here. But Spain is being wise. They're sitting back and just shooting them. They are losing some units. But I think they have this LOC. Like I said, they're rushing some units in. You see these guys are exhausted. And they're broken. So Spain just needs to hold this LOC for a little longer. France actually looks like they're making some headway against Spain finally. And even over here, possibly. Now they do have some cav pushing in here. Oh, this is getting close, guys. This is getting down to it. You can feel the desperation We do have some cav, though, from Spain rushing in the back lines. Oh, this is going to be disastrous. They're going to smack into this huge grenadier unit. So I don't think France is going to take this LOC. There's too many units here. And I think 11-point France is about to just mass break. Now, Spain has lost over here, unfortunately, but they delayed an entire 10-point army. So LOC victory, I'm calling it now. In 3 minutes, they can't take enough LOCs to win this battle. So it's going to be an LOC victory for the Spanish. And that's not something I say all the time. I mean, it is tough being the Spanish in a fight. Usually, I don't know. Spain is a tough one. The coalition in general, I feel, is a lot harder to play as. It's more satisfying to play as because it is a little tougher. But look at this field. This was not an easy fight, guys. Look at the death. And it ranges along the entire field almost. What a costly victory. I mean, it just keeps going. And it goes all through here, too. Grass kind of hides it a little better. And even over here, I mean, it's just, man. Well, at this point, I think Spain is just going to surround their LOC and try holding. They do have some units pushing up here. I'm going to fast forward because this is definitely a very long replay. Yikes, a very long replay. And we'll look at the stats here in a second with this battle coming to a close. Unless France is going to go for a desperate last charge into the LOC, which I don't think they have time to do. They have a minute, so they're just going to stand and fight in a battle. So we will just let this play out and then look at the stats, because the losses and kills have to be high in this battle. They have to be. No way with all of these dead troops and horses everywhere. It'd be hard to walk over this field. Alright, so as you can see, losses were high. Everybody except for this one, the Imperial Guard didn't bring it. Well, yeah, they did bring up. Everybody had over 1,000 Gosh, can't speak. Everybody had over 1,000 men in losses, and almost everybody had over 1,000 except for the Swiss, the poor Swiss. Over had 1,000 kills, 2,000 for 11-pointer, I do believe. So very bloody battle, definitely a good play, not a draw. It's a win for the coalition. This 8-pounder, you can see, got so many kills here, 257 kills. So definitely worth their weight in gold. See, a lot of this cav and infantry didn't get that many kills, so. Well, that's about it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for joining me. You guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and I will catch you all in another video.